Welcome back to another episode where we went to Podfest. Stay tuned to hear some of our nuggets and the fun we had. You too can learn some of the best lessons that other podcasters taught us while we were away. So stay tuned. Welcome to Casa de Confidence, a podcast for you. You'll hear some incredible women
and some awesome, cool dudes
going confidently in the direction of their dreams and living in the purpose of their heart.
You're our host,
Julie DeLucca-Collins, and you are our sidekick. Hashtag handsome hot husband.
That again.
And the producer of the show.
That I am.
I am an author, speaker, coach, dreamer, and most of all,
we help people go in the direction of their dreams
and support them on their purpose. So pull up a chair,
grab a drink,
and make yourself at home because our casa
is your casa. Well, hello everybody. Welcome back. We just flew in from Orlando and our arms are tired.
Well, 3 a.m. comes very quickly.
That was an old joke.
Oh.
That was an old joke.
I'm not old. So
our arms are tired because we flew in from Orlando. Come
my God. You got to be kidding me.
Give it to me here. Come on.
I didn't even know you were making a joke.
It was a little slapstick, a little bit. You can tell. Julie's a little tired.
Okay, do I like slapstick comedy?
I'm a little tired since I made the joke. She's a little tired. She didn't even pick up on the joke.
First of all, Dan, you know that sarcasm is my love language when it comes to comedy.
Sarcasm is her love language.
When it comes to comedy.
So
I get those better than the slapstick.
Well, the long and the short of it here is.
What?
We're going to have a short intro today. We're going to talk about our guest, who is Solomon Thimothy. And you know what we're going to do later this week? We're going to drop a special episode, Julie and I, and we're going to talk about Podfest.
Well, this is a very exciting thing we're doing.
Yeah. So
we're going to talk a little bit about the state of the union when it comes to Casa de Confidence.
Yeah. So look for that later this week, probably Friday, Saturday, maybe. Something like that.
My goodness.
I'm trying to manage expectations.
Wow.
So, because this is a big week.
It's a big week
you
know
what?
For
me.
It's a big week for you because we have two shows premiering, one show is premiering, one has moved over to being produced by us from being a self-produced show. Yep. And both of these incredible women, Lisa Marie Robinson is launching Cash and Sass, and Julia Toothaker is moving her show, Ride the Tide Collective, into our podcasting services, but she is calling it the Career Show.
Little rebrand there.
Little rebrand. Oh my gosh.
Incredible content there.
I can't wait. I'm super excited that we have the opportunity to serve these incredible, incredible women who are changing the lives of others, which, by the way, is really why I'm so happy that we went to Podfest, because one, we need to continue to learn. And if you are not doing professional development for yourself in your business and in your life, I highly encourage you to do this. We need to continue to learn from others. We need to continue to just build our skills. And we can't do that just by reading a book. We need to be able to be in person and learn from others, their stories. I met such incredible people and danced the night away several nights in a row.
Yes, you did.
You, on the other hand, were so tired.
I was exhausted. But you know what though? I was energized and exhausted all at the same time.
I will. So wait. I gotta say, one thing is that I really have to give a shout out to the team from Podfest, because they, as customer service and customer experience goes, they went above and beyond to make, the experience as wonderful for everyone as possible. And there were so many moments that really were so touching. I cried in a lot of the different presentations and some of the moments with other people. So we met friend of the show, Rita Goodrow, who was the MC. And we also met Lorianne Morabito and of course, people who we have been chatting with about being on the show or have been on the show. So really thrilling to be able to be all around these incredible creators.
It really was an incredible time meeting people that we had only seen on its screen, and this was great. And we had a great time. And of course, we're going to drop that special episode to talk about it a little more. But Julie, tell us about Solomon Thimothy, our guest today.
Well, Solomon Thimothy is someone who connected with me, and he found me on the internet because the power of SEO. And guess what? He does SEO himself. However, he introduced himself, and then I met his brother, and his brother is Simon Thimothy. But Solomon and I got to know each other first in this interview. And the one thing that I learned about him that he's really passionate about, that also I feel that is one of the most important things that you can have, is about personal brand. So we geeked out talking about personal brand and the importance of personal branding. We also shared a lot on some of the different things and, the secrets that people must implement in their business, because to create a strong personal brand helps to define you above your competition. Solomon has a podcast too. It's Solomon's Secrets. And again, he talks a lot about entrepreneurship and business leaders and the importance of the content creation and audience engagement, which, by the way, I need to fix. I don't think my audience engagement has been on point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
a little bit of work there.
I also found out that Dan has more followers on Instagram than I do.
Yeah. I don't know what happened there, but yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think they're not real people.
Well, I think these ladies
I did not ask for them.
I think these ladies following you are,
I think it's probably a bunch of dudes posing as ladies following me.
You just say that.
So anyway,
Super interesting. But we are going to get some nappies in. I have a full day ahead of me. You have some nap in your future, I think. And the dogs are thrilled to have us home.
All right, then. So I'm excited for this interview and excited for our talk later this week about Podfest.
I'm excited too. It's going to be a blast.
All right. So on with our interview with Solomon Thimothy.
Hi, everybody. You are in for a great chat today. I met this incredible entrepreneur, and I know that Solomon Thimothy is going to be someone who you're really going to connect and like a lot. He is a renowned entrepreneur and digital marketing expert. He's celebrated lots of different things that we're going to get into, but he is the founder of a thriving digital marketing agency. He has been instrumental in helping businesses succeed online sphere with a strong focus on staying ahead of the industry trends and a commitment to mentoring aspiring entrepreneurs. Solomon is a respected figure in the digital marketing world. And if you are not an entrepreneur, you still should tune into this conversation, because there's always something that we can learn from another successful individual. And how did you get here? So welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, Julie. Super excited.
I am excited too, but for the individuals who, again, are struggling in their business and just are having these rough waters navigating the digital world, what is the one piece of advice that you will tell them that can kind of turn things around for them?
Yeah, I appreciate you using the word struggling, because to be honest, if you're not struggling, then you're not trying hard enough.
So love that so much.
So yeah, it is not going to be, I really enjoy the day-to-day struggles, because it means that you're hitting some sort of it's called, a complexity, some complexity of some sort. Maybe it's resource complexity. You don't have resources or somebody to delegate to. Maybe you don't have the process. Maybe you don't have software, a CRM, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. If you're figuring out that something's not working, we call struggle in the entrepreneurial world. It's actually an opportunity to fix it and move to the next level of growth. Yeah. So we should be, first of all, if you enjoy those things, we should be like, hey, this is my number one struggle. And it's not always like what can fix it, is who do I need to bring into my business to fix it? Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. Yeah. And I have to tell you, I'm in the process of transitioning with my VA. My VA had to step down from working because of personal reasons. And currently I'm onboarding help. And it's certainly, I had thought I had a lot of processes and procedures and it would be a breeze. And yes, it's been easy, but not a breeze. So certainly we have to leverage the skills of other people that can help us. And that's very important.
Yeah, no. And I think that so right now you're going to have a way better situation. You have newer virtual assistants, maybe more experience, but that level of that complexity is actually what's going to hopefully make you way better. 10x better. Does that make sense?
Yes, of course. 10x better is always great.
So I truly believe that if we're not struggling, going back to the original point, if we're not struggling, then maybe we're not pushing hard enough. Maybe we're not trying everything that we should be trying in our business or in our personal lives. And most importantly, like I said, we're not living up to our true purpose.
Oh, you're talking about purpose. Now you're really talking my language. So I have a question for you when it comes to what you are doing now and living in your purpose. When you were 5, is this what you envisioned yourself doing?
Not necessarily when I was 5, but the older I get, I did realize that I didn't fit in the box of a typical employee, kind of like world, because I kept drawing outside the lines. And it was kind of a common thing. It's like I never figured out that, and if you want to be an amazing employee, you got to be really good at drawing inside the lines. That's the success path. You can become the CEO as long as you stay within the lines, because there's always going to be some sort of line that we as entrepreneurs, we make roles, we make job descriptions, we make, roles and whatever. It's because we want somebody to fit a certain role. And I believe that either you're fit into doing that, or you're meant to do messy drawings outside the lines. And then I figured out that maybe I don't fit in this box. There's no amount of, trying is going to help me. So I just kind of went out on my own. And then I've been painting outside the line ever since. Yeah. And so that's kind of the story. I don't really remember when it was, but I realized that it wasn't like I was a bad employee. It wasn't like I didn't come on time or I was mispunching or you know what I mean? I wasn't doing anything else. It's just that I didn't like not being able to be creative, not, bringing a bunch of innovation. This is truly what entrepreneurs, let me tell you, if you're bringing innovation into your business and, you're still comped as if, does that make sense? Like you got that.
I'm hearing you loud and clear here.
I like entrepreneurial employees. That's what I'm trying to say. Like I like people that are comped based on the contribution as opposed to what the job title, some corporate structure somebody made that in HR that don't even know what you do. I don't feel it. And if you're an entrepreneur, you are not paid on time. You're paid on result.
Oh, so good that you said that. I think that, so many different people, when they leave their corporate career and they go into the entrepreneur world, they really struggle because they want to get paid for their time. But really, it's about the results. And I love that you talk about 10X, because when you're creating an effort, it is just as easy to get the 10X results if you push yourself a little more. And I'm not condoning, obviously, this hustle culture, but I think that many entrepreneurs really don't understand that 80% of our results really comes from 20% of our efforts. But if you're going to go in all the way and make it work and get that result.
Yeah, going back to that entrepreneur who quit their corporate job, where we had 6 weeks of vacations or whatever else they do these days, which is awesome. But when you're on your own, you are going to have to kill and hunt and do whatever to eat, right? Like it is basically, like you said, if you don't execute, you don't get results, you don't have food or income, whatever you want to make it. And I think I just been lucky enough that I started my journey in my early 20s. So I had to learn how to survive. It was kind of like that. And then now, whatever age I am in, I don't like to look at look at that. But it's like, hey, it's like easy. You know what I mean? But if I had transitioned today from a super comfortable corporate job, it would be so different for me to get used to what life is like, which is like, what? I have to prospect? What? I have to get on a sales call? What? Like, I have to close the deal? And then, oh, my customer does not want to buy this thing because they said it's too expensive. Or, oh, because they said, call me back later. Like, I would be like, I don't want to deal with this. I'm going to go back to my corporate job, paying me whatever it was paying me. But guess what? It was security. I didn't have to worry about anything. Right. But I don't think I would fit that role, but I would rather do the entrepreneurial thing, because when you are capable, when you have capability, and when you can believe, and you believe that you're able to produce more result, and then it's kind of like a sales guy who gets paid on commission. Right. A salesperson who gets paid, and I have nothing against salespeople. I love salespeople. If you need your base and that's your thing, and then you are okay with the commission, I can tell you, even though you're getting a good base, you are still a commission-only salesperson. Because if you stop selling and if you stop getting commissions, your base is gone and you are gone, my friend.
Yeah, for sure.
So an entrepreneur is simply a commission-only salesperson. We are only as good as what you can bring in, what you can close, what you can do. That means you need to believe in yourself. You have to have capabilities. You have to have people around you to execute. And the amount of money that you can make, or the amount of freedom that you can get, is limitless. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And by the way, I want to go ahead and highlight this point, because I think that if people are listening, but then you weren't really hearing this, I want you to really hear it. If you're an entrepreneur and you're not getting paid, that means you're not a very good salesperson. You're not really doing the job. And if you were going to rate yourself, be honest and rate yourself with the grade that fits the effort, not the effort, but the results that you're getting. And if you're not moving the needle, you need to really ask yourself, what am I not doing? What am I not doing? And I come across a lot of entrepreneurs that spend their time spinning their wheels, doing the thing that is easy, right? That anybody can in a job, you get paid to maybe make a spreadsheet, maybe write a program or write a blog or whatever, but that's not getting you paid. Talking to people, servicing people, telling people what you do and how you're going to help them and give them the result that they're willing to pay for is really what makes you a successful entrepreneur. Absolutely.
Yeah. Preach it. Julie, I agree. And I think it's uncomfortable, which is why most people don't want to do that. It's uncomfortable to be thinking about your sales pipeline and your, like you said, your spreadsheets, your sales goals, whatever it is, because it really truly gets you out of people's comfort zone. But if you thrive in getting out of your comfort zone, then you're going to be pretty well. You're going to be doing very well.
Absolutely.
So I think it's much more personal. Like, people do not want to get out of their comfort zone. They don't want to pick up the phone and follow up with the prospect, or put themselves out there on social media, put themselves out there on, a sales call, or saying, hey, it's kind of like me saying, hey, Julie, do you know anybody else that could use my products or services? Oh, well, it's uncomfortable because I don't want to ask Julie. Like, I don't want to do that. But let me tell you, Julie knows people that needs my services.
That's right.
Maybe it's not Julie. And this is every single relationship that you have. There is someone else. We always think that it's me selling to you. No, it's never me selling to you. It's me letting you know that, hey, I have this thing. Do you know anybody else in your network that can buy it? And these are the uncomfortable conversations that we need to have as entrepreneurs every single day if you want to grow and scale the business.
I want to agree with you 100%. And I think that you hit the nail on the head. It is about the relationships. And there's someone who, yes, is probably cringing. I don't want to sell. I'm not a salesperson. We have this picture in our brain that salesperson is yucky, and ultimately I want to remind people that selling is about relationships. If you have a relationship with someone and you hear them say, hey, I love white wine and I just can't seem to get the wine. I tasted this wine. This is what this wine would be like. And it really pairs well with this kind of food that I make. And all of a sudden we're hearing them say that, and we know what the wine is, and we're not telling them, hey, I've got that wine. Do you want it? Of course, that's exactly what this is all about. And I think that people get really caught in their heads that when people, they're going to say no. Well, what if they don't like it? It's not about saying no to you. It's not personal. It's something that, I don't drink white wine. I don't drink, period. I drink water, sparkling water. And that's something that, maybe in the very beginning, they told you that, and you're not paying attention and listening to that. You're not listening and conversing and getting to know someone well enough in which, hey, I don't have sparkling water, but I know someone that does. Do you want me to make that introduction?
That's true. Absolutely. Yeah. And so that's what successful people had to do. They had to sell. And if we feel like sales is just for salespeople, it's not. The CEO is a salesperson. You're selling the company. You're selling the vision to your employees. A manager is a salesperson because you have to manage and lead your team. So like, hey, guess what, guys? We're going to do this, right? The president of the United States is a salesperson. The senator is a salesperson. Everybody's selling to somebody because if you want to win the election, you need to sell your idea, your concept, your vision of what you wanted to happen. Whether it happens or not, you're still in the sales business. And the better you are at sales, the more successful you're going to be. So it's not one-to-one or one-to-many. It's truly learning what's important to the other person and how can I help them get that, right? I don't know if you know this, Zig Ziglar said this, if you can have everything you want in life, if you give enough other people what they want, right? So it's like that thing is what's holding you back from getting everything that you want.
And many entrepreneurs, and I think that this is really what trips them up, they don't know what people want. They think they know, but they are not really paying attention. And they go out and they say, I'm going to give you X, Y, Z. I see this with a lot of my clients. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But they've never taken the time to actually do market research, speak to people and find out, what do you really want? Maybe you understand them, but perhaps when you're talking about the one thing they want, you're not using their language. You're using yours. And therefore, things get lost in translation.
Right. It's not about you. That's the first thing you have to understand as an entrepreneur.
Never about you, Solomon. Never,
this podcast
ever.
It's not about you or it's not about me. It's about the listener.
It's about the listener.
The more and more you live that thing, the more and more you sort of close more deals without knowing. You get better success for your customers, and word of mouth starts to happen. Is the moment that you say, you know what, this is not about me. This is about how can I serve another individual, whatever their aspirations are, whatever their goals are. And I think that is the true cash making machine is when you put your needs aside and put the needs of somebody else and says, how do I help them get that goal, achieve that result that they want in their life? What can I do to be part of it? That's kind of what we do in marketing, right?
So good. So good. I want to pivot a little bit because you talked about what this podcast is about. You have a podcast called Solomon Secrets. What is your best secret?
It's the secret that, we're holding. There's no secret that we're holding back. We let all of it out, but you just got to go check out the podcast. But it's mostly interviews with entrepreneurs like yourself. And I don't know, sometimes we talk a lot about marketing because that's just my day to day.
Yeah.
There's stuff that we do that has nothing to do with marketing. It's about family, it's about kids, it's about growth, personal development, and so on. But for the most part, it is just our outlet to put out content in audio format. And I really we tried several different outlets. And like I said, we do video, we do short form, we do audio. We do webinars, we do every possible outlet that you can. And I commend every single person that's listening. You're like, hey, you never thought you could have a podcast. It's free. And it gives you an enormous amount of leverage to nurture the people that you have, that you you're passionate about serving in a medium that it is so passive, like you just listen in your car, listen in your workout, whatever it is, and you're able to nurture your relationship without them watching a video, without being actively talking to you. This is one of the modes that I believe every entrepreneur should take advantage of. I don't think I invest enough time in it personally, but it is literally that channel for us to reach our audience, if that makes sense, outside of video and text and so on.
I love that. I love that. You know, one of the things that is very clear to me is a lot of what your brand is. You talk a lot about marketing. You talk about excelling at 10x, the entrepreneur journey. I want to know, for people who are listening, and even those who may not be an entrepreneur, I believe that there's an importance on personal brand. But do you believe in personal brand? Then why should people have one?
Yeah, no, I 100% believe in personal brand. I just don't think people take enough time and energy to build that personal brand. I mean, we work with B2B companies, and these are $50 million companies or whatever it is. And the CEO almost never want to create content. They never want to write a blog post. It's just because that's not how they built a business. And they're like, if I didn't have to do it until now, why should I be creating content? Why do I need to take pictures? Why do I need to put myself on the thumbnail of my YouTube videos? And what's with all of this stuff? It's because the last generation of thinking was, you build a business, it's almost like machines, right? Like you build the systems and everything else. But I think we live in a world where social media comes first. I'm gravitated towards you, and then your business second. And a few entrepreneurs really figured this stuff out. And I would say Elon Musk is one of those people. It's not about what he sells. It's about who he is. And whether you like him or you hate him, it is not about that. You either gravitated towards his brands and his vision, mission, whatever, or you're not, right? Jeff Bezos never built that personal brand. We don't listen to the Jeff Bezos podcast. We don't know anything about Jeff Bezos' Twitter account. We hardly know anything about him because he sort of built that machine. Very successful. He might not be a big fan of it, right? But then you look at Richard Branson, who built the Virgin brand. He's very personal. It doesn't even matter how many companies he's at. He's always talking about what he's doing, what he wants the world to be like, or what he sees. So I believe that those successful brands, there's a lot of elements of their success came from the visionary leader who was very outspoken about what they wanted in life and for the world around them, for their team. A lot of times you and I buy things not because we like the brand, but we like the entrepreneur behind it. Yeah. There's a lot of female entrepreneurs, Fabletics, I don't even like all these, right? Like The Honest Company. All of these are celebrities who I recently read an article about organic wine being created by another celebrity. So like, we're going to buy into that brand simply because we like the person behind it. Like we're going to buy things that we don't even care about. We're like, oh my gosh, it's so-and-so's brand. So we're going to buy into it. We're going to subscribe to Fabletics or whatever it is, right? So I think we have an opportunity to create a difference with our personal brand, or we can just sort of build this big box business with no face. Everything is corporate lingo. There's no personal, like there's no personal touch. There's no personal anything. And I would rather not do that, is what I'm saying. I want them to know who you are. I want people to know, like I do this for all the clients we work with. We try to get their CEOs on their YouTube channel, even if they only have 6 subscribers. We're like, make 6 videos. Why did you make this company? Why are you doing what you're doing? What wakes you up in the morning? Like what is that vision? And in fact, one of the things that we're doing now, because we're so media oriented, is that we've opened up our studio that we have here in our office for entrepreneurs, because these guys do not have a camera. They don't have lights. Brilliant. They don't have anything. We completely brand the entire studio to their name. They fly in. We pick them up on a black car. They spend 4 hours in our office. They can go enjoy lunch at the beach, whatever, go back.
That's amazing. That's so cool.
We can make them enough content for 20 whatever working days to drop every single day, because I like those. I want those CEOs to be on their social media channels more.
100%.
There's only a small percentage of them, by the way, believe this, because they're like, I don't need to do it. I'm good. Thank you so much. I have a marketing department that's going to just, take care of marketing. And I'm like, that is not, nobody knows the company the way they should. They don't have a personal relationship with the brand.
Right.
So if you can do that, I think you'll be massively successful. It has nothing to do with how old you are, how many generations old the business is.
Yeah.
It's that there needs to be a personal touch to your company that you so work hard every single day, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day to build, but then your customers don't know anything.
I'm loving everything that you're saying. As you were talking about being on video and how people buy because of the person that is recommending or talking about something, I'm thinking about a phenomenon that I've been seeing on TikTok in this whole TikTok shop. Right. There are individuals that are selling products and things that we honestly don't need. However, if there is that influencer that we follow because we like their cat videos, no, I'm not a cat video person, but no offense if you are, but they all of a sudden are getting in TikTok shop and saying, hey, I ordered this great bottle. Look how great. It holds a lot of water. It keeps my eyes from melting. And I'm like, oh, she's using that. I love that. Oh my gosh, I may need that, right? Do I need another water bottle? Probably not. However, here we are, right? And it happens because we believe in that person. We kind of invested in like who they are. And we see, oh, she's always hydrated. What does she use? Okay, here it is. I'm going to get that. And I want to be like that.
I agree. And it's not that we're just invested. We feel like we're connected to that person. Yeah. We feel a connection. And they don't know that. They don't know Julie's watching. They have no idea.
Nope. They have no idea.
But the reason that we feel that is because we've been consuming their content, which anybody who's listening, watching this should know that if you start creating content, people start consuming content, they're going to build relationships with you in a whole different way than you could ever do on your own, prospecting on LinkedIn or doing all this cold calling. I like inbound way more than I like outbound. Outbound is interruption, but I still do it because it works. However, 80% of the business I recommend for my entrepreneurs is to be inbound. And inbound means they come and they seek you out and they want to work with you for who you are, what you believe in, and what you do, and the results that you can bring to the table. And that to me is a way easier sales for all my people that don't like selling.
100%.
Way easier to sell Julie on the thing that she came looking for, rather than me waking Julie up and say, hey, do you need this and this? She's like, no, go away.
No, go away.
Then go
Absolutely.
to the next person and say, hey, do you need this? They're like, no, don't ever call me again.
Yeah. Right? That's one of the things that when I put myself out in social media, and I have my sisters think I'm crazy for all the social media that I do. But first of all, I've always loved connecting with other people and being in social media. But I think that I honestly, if I want to connect with people, I come across a lot of different people. But after I have a conversation with you, maybe I met you at a networking event and we connect on social, then you can take a little bit of a deeper dive into who I am. What are my values? I talk about how I help individuals. And by the way, I put a lot of content out, and probably not enough, even though I think I do put a lot out. I'm probably not putting enough out there. But what I love is I have clients that have seen my content, have heard me talk about something. And then when they call me, yes, maybe we go into a sales call, but I'm not selling them. I'm just answering questions that may be clarifying, like, okay, logistics, this is when we meet, this is how much it is. But most of them already know what I stand for and what I do because they've seen my content and they've heard me talk about this.
100%. That's why they're there. So guess what? You got to do more.
Yeah, I got to do more. We all have to do more. I'm wondering, a lot of individuals use a lot of different things for their business in addition to social media. We use email marketing. We also have a website. We are hopefully listed into Google. I know I need my game to improve in all aspects. I would say, if anything, I'm consistent with is my email marketing. I try to send engaging emails at least once a week. Hopefully I'm getting better and sending more. But Is there a playbook for, I noticed in your website, you talk about an email prospecting playbook. You talked about that outbound email, outbound outreach. Tell me more about that, because I think that people don't realize that there's so many different types of emailing and outreach that we can do using email.
Yeah. So email is one of the highest ROI marketing thing you could do. For every dollar. It ranges, depending on who's doing the research, anywhere from $38 to $41 in return for every dollar invested. Wow. So what it means is that if there's anything that you can put in $1 and make 41 back, that's email. So I tread email very carefully, because I want to make sure that my emails end up in people's inboxes and that my email actually adds value to somebody's life, and that everybody who is a subscriber of any of our businesses is a valued subscriber. They're not just a number. So we never send them 5 emails in one day, or send things just because I have a promotion. I need to let it out. It's almost like we started the podcast about, it's about them. It's not about me. Can this email add value into their day? And how long can I keep that subscriber active? Because technically speaking, every subscriber is worth some amount of money for the business, whether it's $1 a subscriber or $10 a subscriber, is how well you've nurtured your list. Right. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
So the inbound and the outbound is like apples and oranges. Outbound is for you to prospect. If you're like a business and you prospect to other businesses, you can email them and say, hey, Joe, I was on your website. I noticed so and so. Would you be interested in learning more about this thing that we do? Are you looking to fix this in Q4? That's very much prospecting. But true email marketing is building that list like you're doing. And I saw your emails, Julie. They're beautiful. I really like the design and the copy. But that's
a very kind and high praise from you.
It looks different. It has a lot of white space. And it's like minimal graphics. It's not like promotional stuff. And you're sharing your stories. So like, again, it draws me into.
That's all me. It's not AI, by the way.
Yeah, that draws me into your world.
Okay, good. So thank you.
Go into your social media where I discovered you, and I click on the link in bio, and I give you my email to download some free guide. I now expect the same level of quality of content in your email, which, by the way, is the most valued asset. Is their direct access to their inbox is the best thing you can get. If you want to share something, and today was Black Friday, there's no better place to post it through your email, because social media is filled with AI dictating what they see and what they don't see. Yeah. Ads cost an arm and a leg on days like Black Friday. There's no other way. The most valuable asset you can get is their email, right? Which is why it has $41 for every dollar spent. So if I can get into your inbox and I can tell you what I'm actually going to do, and I can draw you into my world, you will get super like high ROI in marketing. And just one method, one channel.
Yeah. I so appreciate that. I so appreciate that. I think that a lot of people underestimate the value. And if there's anything that I really want my clients and listeners to know is, if you have a business, email is key. And don't be afraid of people subscribing and then saying, you know what, this is not for me. Say thank you for unsubscribing. You're not being a pain. People are so afraid, oh, maybe I'm sending too many emails. Not if you're giving value, you're not. Exactly. And that's really the rule.
If you're giving value, you can send 5 times a day.
I don't know who has time for 5 times a day, but that's so good.
Most people don't have that kind of value to give. It's because we're not thinking about them. We're thinking about us. Yeah. It just really comes down to that basic. It's like, can I create them another video explaining how to do XYZ? And that I would have charged, somebody for, but I'm going to do it for free. There's nothing wrong with sending that email. And tomorrow, create some new resource saying, hey, I made this thing that is a super awesome Excel spreadsheet. You put this number in, it just does all this for you. And it would take you so many hours to make this. I made it already for you. Yep. Would you like me to give it? Here's the link. Go ahead and download it. No one's going to unsubscribe from that person. The third day you say, hey, I have 150 chat GPT prompt that I've been working on for the last 90 days. It took me whatever many hours, and I could charge $27, but I'm just going to let you have it for free because you're a valued subscriber. It's that drives.
Okay, so you can watch my emails for the next 3 weeks, and I have some really good content you're giving me now. Thank you.
Yeah, but that's so what I mean is that every single person should feel like you're only going to be sending me things that is going to add value to my world. they will never unsubscribe, no matter how much you email.
Yeah.
It's the people that we hate. They send emails without even asking us, and they send us stuff which is me, and not the other person. Then we're like, I don't want to see this. I want to unsubscribe.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I see a lot of that. And hopefully, if you're listening, you can kind of say, oh, this is valuable. This is something I can incorporate. This is something that maybe I'm going to try. Because the bottom line is, we don't wake up one morning and have all the answers as an entrepreneur. This is how we began this conversation, right? You got to go all in, and you got to try and fail fast, and keep getting up and moving. Solomon, who is your favorite entrepreneur that you've learned the most from online? That maybe would be a name that people can, or even if it isn't, give me, who have you learned from the most and inspires you online?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot, but somebody I followed very early was Gary Vee, and I think a lot of entrepreneurs, marketers can relate to that. He's just been never ending content creation machine.
Yeah.
So when you said you have to put more online,
he is a machine.
yeah, I would say that would be a great person to follow. But then that's kind of like general social media advice. But as you narrow down to the kind of content creators that you want, there's a lot of other people out there. But I think the best source of creativity and content at scale, I think I still give Gary Vee a lot of credit.
Yeah, he has a lot. And by the way, I forgot, I think it might have been Pat Flynn that talked about this, how he, he was thinking like, oh my God, I need to kind of be that like Gary Vee and, document. And I think to myself as well, when I'm attending something fun, I'm like, oh, document, because this is content, right? Life is content. And, but it's not sustainable for a lot of people. Gary Vee has thousands of people that work for him that help him produce. But that's great inspiration to know, hey, I may not be able to put in as much content as he does, but I can put a little bit of more than I can, document maybe when I went to the soccer field, or maybe when I went shopping and found something that's, helps me be a healthier person, and therefore I show up better as an entrepreneur, something like that. It's always important to be able to share with others.
Absolutely. I just think that it's nurturing. Just as we talked about podcasts being nurturing, social media is just the same thing. Absolutely. You connect, really build relationship, you nurture them.
I'm loving it. What is one thing that most people don't know about you that people would be surprised to learn?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. I started a business basically out of my dad's spare bedroom before I guess it was before I even turned 21. And we grew that. We grew that within months. I had rented office space. Like there's a lot of entrepreneurs who are scared to go and get space and lease and things like that because you're so uncertain about your capability and your ability to close business. And I did the opposite. I went and signed like a 3-year lease. And so I forced myself to get clients. And I think that is your greatest, your greatest value. Like, people are always scared about the economy. They're scared about what's going to happen to us. Will I be able to close more business? I say this to the people all the time. When I started, it was like 2006 and we went through 2008, like the great recession. And we grew our business during that time. We grew our business in the pandemic. So I don't know, like I don't have that worry of, oh my gosh, what's going to happen. I just feel like a lot of people are unwilling to invest in themselves, invest into their business because of the uncertainty in the marketplace, uncertainty, geopolitical, whatever you want to call it. I'm like, you got to take those risks, because if you don't, you're not going to grow. You're going to stay on the sidelines. You're going to miss out the whole thing. So I'm over here investing like crazy.
I love it. The same thing for us. I think that we here, my husband and I have invested a lot into the business, and I have a little bit of, I didn't realize that I had done this, but there's a research that says that when an entrepreneur has a plan B, Like you say to yourself, well, if it doesn't work out, I can always go back and do this, right? They have that plan B to fall back on. Those are entrepreneurs that give themselves a break and they don't go all in at times because they already have that, well, if this doesn't work out, I can do the other thing. But for me, for me as an entrepreneur, I said, this is it. I'm going to go all in. There's no plan B. And it has allowed me to take risks, but it also has allowed me to do the work and move the needle every day, because moving the needle every day means that you're running your business with a plan and not with emotion. And that's what a lot of entrepreneurs do. If I don't feel like it, or I feel, someone said no to me and I'm not feeling great, then I'm going to tune out, go find the next shiny thing to go into.
That is correct. You nailed it. I have a t-shirt that says all in. Next time I'll wear that.
I love that. That's so awesome. So tell us more about your company and how can people leverage you, your expertise, what you do, and how do they connect with you?
Yeah, I think the easiest way to connect with me is on my personal website, just because there's people probably are business owners or maybe not. And that's just my last name. That's Thimothy.com. And if they have any questions about social media, content creation, whatever it is that they are struggling with, I do a lot of creation of support documents, resources, whatever it is that we can do. As far as our business is concerned, we are heavily invested into lead generation and customer acquisition. That's what we specialize in. We help businesses basically take them from obscurity to market dominance, which is purely done through marketing, nothing else. And we all know companies because they're really good at marketing, not because their product might be superior to their competitors. It's because they're really good at marketing. And I think just because I was really into that creative stuff early on, we just kept going and going. And so I'm like a marketing first guy, everything else second.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Thimothy, Solomon, Thimothy, Thimothy.com is the website. You want to go ahead and check out the show notes. We're going to put all the information there. We want to make sure that you connect with Solomon, and you also look at all the different resources, because he's got some incredible resources that are definitely going to make an impact on what you're doing, whether you're just starting out or you're looking to, again, grow your brand and scale what you're doing. He's got a lot of different ways in which he can create that consistent engagement for you, give you high quality videos, or even if you tune in to, not even if, but when you can connect to his Instagram, he's got Instagram game, people. He's got lots of really good reels with some good tips and things that will help you to be able to continue to show up consistently and show up well online and define yourself. And again, serve others, put yourself out there and grow your brand in a way that makes a difference. And you're living in your purpose overall.
Right.
Yeah, so good. Will you come back again? It's been so fun to talk to you. I could talk all day about these topics. Yeah, you're amazing. Anyway, make sure you connect with Solomon. Give him some social media love. Tell him you found him through Casa de Confidence. And if you have any questions, check the show notes for all information. And again, thank you for being here, Solomon. Don't forget, go confidently in the direction of your dreams.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for listening to Casa de Confidence. We thank you for listening, and if you want more, go to casadeconfidencepod.com. Check Julie out on her socials as Julie DeLucca-Collins. And you can also check out her website at goconfidentlycoaching.com. Have a great week, and don't forget, go confidently in the direction of your dreams.
Hi, everybody. I know that sometimes we get very lonely in this entrepreneur journey, and I want to invite you to join us into our limited time only Purposeful You Mastermind. For many of us entrepreneurs, we believe that we can do it all, but the reality is that doing it alone only creates a lot of overwhelm. So join us at the Purposeful You Mastermind. You can find out more information by going to bit.ly/. Julie's Mastermind. This is going to be the place where you are able to then unlock your full potential and achieve long-term success for your business, push you behind your current limits, expand your connections, discover new ideas, and implement them with confidence. You're going to get the support in all aspects and transforming you to the six-figure business you've been looking for. Pause and get off the hamster wheel if you've been spinning around. This is a time where you can get that support from like-minded entrepreneurs that are here to join you in your journey. Together, we can challenge the assumptions and land the speaking engagements and opportunities we want to grow our business and make an impact in the lives of people. See you then. Remember, you can find the mastermind at bit.ly, Julie's Mastermind.